A very good evening, friends. I welcome you all to the daily newspaper analysis brought to you by the Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 26th February 2024. Here are the list of articles which we are going to discuss today. So let's get into discussion. Look at this article. It talks about the Red Sea crisis which has disrupted the global trade, causing reroutes, increased costs and significant delays. See, this issue is affecting the India's trade with Europe and North Africa. While China offers a rail-based alternative through Belt and Road Initiative, India offers an initiative through India Middle East European Economic Corridor or IMEC. See, this aims to reduce the transit times and costs but facing various challenges like lack of investment and geopolitical tensions. See, this is the crux of the article. In our discussion, let us discuss about 3 geopolitical points which are often asked in the map-based questions. They are Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and we shall also see about IMEC project. Okay, first things first, let us see about Red Sea. See, the Red Sea is a seawater inlet of the Indian Ocean lying between Africa and Asia. The sea is underlined by the Red Sea Rift, which is a part of Great Rift Valley. Okay, now let us see the countries which are bordering the Red Sea. To the northwest, Egypt's eastern coastline borders the Red Sea, with a popular destination like Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. South of Egypt, Sudan has a relatively small coastline on the Red Sea. South of Sudan, Eritrea's coastline along the Red Sea is rugged and has several islands. Know that located at the southern entrance of the Red Sea, Djibouti is a strategically important point for shipping. Let's see a mnemonic for memorizing the countries which are bordering the Red Sea. It is DESSEY or DESSEY, DESSEY, which means D for Djibouti, E for Eritrea, S for Saudi Arabia, S for Sudan, E for Egypt and Y for Yemen. Okay, let us continue our discussion. As we have seen now, on the Asian side, Saudi Arabia has the largest coastline along the Red Sea leading up to Gulf of Aqaba. Jordan has a small coastline at the northern end of the Gulf of Aqaba. Israel's resort city of Eilat is on the Red Sea, and know that it is located at the northern tip of Gulf of Aqaba. At the southern end of Red Sea, Yemen has a significant coastline that includes strategic Bab el-Mandab Strait. This is all about the basics about Red Sea. Now, let us move our discussion towards Mediterranean Sea. See, Mediterranean Sea is connected to Atlantic Ocean, surrounded by the Mediterranean region and almost completely enclosed by this land. Okay, on the northern side, it is enclosed by Europe, and in the southern side by Africa, and in the eastern side by Asia. Know that it is a key route for maritime trade and has a rich history that dates back thousands of years. Okay, now with these basics, let us see the countries with coastlines on the Mediterranean Sea. We shall separate it along the continent wise. Firstly, let us see about the European countries. Let us see the countries: Spain, France, Monaco, Italy, Malta, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, and Turkey and Cyprus. These are the countries on the European continent bordering the Mediterranean Sea. Now let us see the Middle East countries. See, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Palestinian Gaza Strip, which is bordering the Mediterranean Sea. Now let us see the African countries which are bordering the Mediterranean Sea. They are Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. So, see, these are all the countries which are bordering the Mediterranean Sea. See, we should revise this often as it can be used for our elimination techniques. Okay, we have seen the 2 important seas, that is the Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Now, let us see and understand about India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor from the prelims perspective. See, India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor or IMEC was announced at G20 Summit in 2023. See, it was designed to streamline and enhance the trade routes between the regions. Know that the corridor will feature a mix of transportation modules including railroad, ships to rail network, road transport, etc. Now let us see the structure of the corridor. The project is structured around 2 main corridors. First one is the East Corridor, that is designed to connect India with the Gulf region, and second is the Northern Corridor, which extends the connectivity from Gulf to Europe. Okay, now let us see the ports which are crucial in this corridor. In India, ports such as Kandla, Mundra and JNPT serves as the corridor's southern anchors. In the Middle East, Jebel Ali, Abu Dhabi, Dammam and Ras Al Khair will link the Gulf with India. In European part, the ports such as Piraeus, Messina and Marseille are identified as the northern terminals which is connecting it with the European market. Know that this corridor will ensure continuous rail connectivity, especially from the Gulf to Europe through strategic points like Haifa port in Israel. Okay, now we have elaborately covered various locations which are often appeared in the newspaper which will be directly asked in our prelims. So please note these locations on your map and have frequent visits. Okay, so with this learned points, let's conclude this discussion and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this Sunday article from the Hindu newspaper. Kerala has implemented the H1 rule, which is mandating the prescriptions for all antibiotics to combat antimicrobial resistance or AMR. See, this initiative aims to foster responsible antibiotic use and enhance the public health infrastructure to reduce the AMR. See, despite being a significant move, the real challenge lies in addressing the broader drivers of AMR and ensuring the widespread compliances and effective implementation. See, this is the crux of the article. In this context, let us understand antimicrobial resistance from the prelims perspective. Okay, first things first, what is antimicrobial resistance? See, AMR or antimicrobial resistance is a critical global health issue where microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi and parasites evolve to resist the effect of medications. See, this makes the standard treatments for infections very ineffective and allows the disease to spread and persist. Note that the resistance development is a natural process, but here it is accelerated by the factors such as misuse of antimicrobials in humans, animals and agriculture. Know that WHO or World Health Organization highlights AMR as the major threat as it leads to superbugs which are very difficult to treat. Okay, having this basics, now let us see what are the reasons for the spread of AMR. Firstly, the widespread occurrence of diseases like tuberculosis and respiratory infections increases the demand for the antimicrobial treatments, often leading to misuse and overuse. Secondly, limited resources and inadequate laboratory capacity hinder the precise diagnosis and appropriate treatment. See, this contributes to the indiscriminate use of the antimicrobials. Thirdly, lapses in the hygiene within the healthcare facilities facilitate the transmission of resistant bacteria amongst the patients. Fourthly, pressure from the patients and the habit of self-medication leads to overprescribing and misuse of antibiotics and promoting the development of resistance. Fifthly, unregulated sale and affordability of antibiotics encourage the self-medication and improper use, furthering the spread of AMR. Sixthly, a general lack of public awareness about the AMR and the correct use of antibiotic fosters the inappropriate practices. Seventhly, the absence of comprehensive monitoring systems makes it very difficult to effectively track the emergence and spread of AMR. See, these are all the various reasons for the spread of antimicrobial resistance. So, with these points, we can conclude that addressing AMR requires the multifaceted approach, including the improving public and private healthcare providers, enhancing the diagnostics and infection control practices, etc. See, we should also ensure that antibiotics are used judiciously and effectively. See, this is all about the discussion. In this discussion, firstly we saw about the basics of antimicrobial resistance, and in the second part, we saw about the causes for the spread of AMR. With this basics in mind, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this opinion page article from the today's Hindu newspaper. It talks about the impacts of the interim budget allocation on the Indian education sector. So in this news article discussion, let us learn the exam related facts from the news article using our mains answer writing discussion. See, education can be asked in GS paper 2 under the syllabus issues related to the development and management of social sectors related to health, education and human resources. Okay, now let us move on to the question. Let me read out the question for you. Discuss the various issues Indian higher education system, suggest some measures to improve it. See, the only keyword in the question is discuss. So, you are expected to cover different viewpoints, arguments, perspective related to the given subject. Here, the question specifically talks about higher education. So, in the introduction part, you can highlight any survey or report that reflects the current scenario of the higher education system in India. Then, you can split the main body of the answer into two parts. Firstly, you can write about the issues in the education system, and in the second part, you can suggest the measures to improve it. See, this is how we are going to address this particular question. Okay, now let us get into discussion. Moving on to the introduction part, here you can write like this. According to the recently released report of the All India Survey of Higher Education 2021-22, total enrollment in higher education has increased to nearly 4.33 crores in 2021-22. See, this is 4.5% higher than the 2020-21 report. Moreover, the number of women enrolled in the higher education institution has also steadily increased. See, from 1.5 crores enrolled in 2015, there has been a jump of 32% to 2.07 crores enrolled in 2021-22. See, the gender parity index, which is the ratio of female GER or gross enrollment ratio to male GER, has also increased. This indicates that there is a slightly higher enrollment of female than male. Even though the numbers are in increasing trends, the quality of education availability of resources, and the need for reform are still to be addressed. See, some of the issues faced by higher education system in India are as follows. See, in this way, you can give a link to the main part of the answer. Okay, moving on to the main body of the answer. Firstly, you have to write about the issues in the higher education system. See, the cost of higher education and other problems make it very difficult for the low income students to enter college and to stay in college once they are getting admitted. Apart from this, at highly selective colleges and universities, the policy of legacy admissions make it easier for certain wealthy students to get admission. This essentially keeps out the low income students from entering college of their preferred choices. For example, the estimated GER as per AC report for the age group 18 to 23 is 28.4. Here, GER is a metric that measures the total enrollment in education as a percentage of eligible school-aged population. So, if GER is 28.4, it means out of 100 children aged 18 to 23, only 28 go for higher education. Secondly, the demand for higher education is experiencing a tremendous surge driven by various factors. But the existing institutions are already insufficient to cater to the growing demand. See, this also strains the current infrastructure and resources, leading to secondary problems like overcrowded classrooms, insufficient laboratories, hindering practical experiments and research skills. See, there are also poorly stocked libraries, which is lacking up-to-date resources and lack of facilities like sports grounds, canteen, hostels, etc. These deficiencies hinder the effective learning, student engagement in various extracurricular activities, and they can also lead to health and accommodation issues. Third issue is a shortage of qualified faculty. See, according to Ministry of Human Resource and Development, in 2022, 6,180 positions around the 45 central universities have been vacant out of the sanctioned strength of 18,000 staffs. This scarcity is particularly pronounced in the technical and professional education, where highly skilled faculty are in high demand. See, this acts as an effective impediment for the students to receive the high quality education they originally deserve. Fourth issue is the outdated curriculum. See, the curriculum employed by many higher education institutions are outdated and has not been revised for several years. This obsolete curriculum hampers the students' ability to acquire relevant skill or knowledges for succeeding in the job market. Moreover, this mismatch leads to the underemployment or working in lower skilled roles, or it can even lead to unemployment rate. Finally, political influence is also an issue with higher education. See, the dominant political leaders are now playing a key role in governing body of the universities, as they own most of the institutions imparting education. They have established their own youth cells and encourage students' organization on a political basis. See, from this way, they exploit the student energy for their political purposes. And moreover, this makes the student forget their own goals and begin to pursue career in politics. See, with this we can wind up the first half of the answer. Moving on, here we have to write about the measures which are taken for addressing the said issues. Firstly, increasing the quality of education through bottom-up approach. To make this possible, government has launched Pradhan Mantri Uchatar Shiksha Abhiyan or PM Usha. See, this scheme basically aims to work with over 300 higher education institutions, including the state universities and affiliated colleges, to raise the quality of education. Additionally, it focuses on improving graduate employability through funding for the promotion of market-linked courses, industry connections, internship, etc. Secondly, focusing on innovation and upgradation of infrastructure in the higher education institutions. See, this is done by the scheme called Fund for the Improvement of S&T Infrastructure or FIST scheme. See, the scheme is intended to provide basic infrastructure and enabling facilities for promoting R&D activities in the new and emerging areas. Moreover, it will attract fresh talents in the universities and other education institutions. Thirdly, colleges with low gross enrollment ratio can be concentrated first at the district level, and then number of central universities can be increased to cater with the growing demands of higher education. Finally, government-run workshops like GIAN or Global Initiative for Academic Networks can be encouraged to develop the skill required for the job market. See, new initiatives like hackathon, curriculum reform, anytime anywhere learning to Swayam, teacher training are all aimed at improving the quality of the education. See, these are all need to be effectively implemented. See, you can write all these points in the second half of the answer. Okay, now we have covered the body part of the answer. Now let us move on to the conclusion part. See, moving on to the conclusion, higher education in India has expanded rapidly in the last 7 decades after independence. Yet, its accessibility and quality both remain a matter of concern. If India wants economic growth and development to percolate at the grass level, it needs to invest in education on a priority basis. See, this investment should not only focus on increasing the number of institutions, but also should enhance the infrastructure, expertise of the faculty, relevance of the curriculum, and inclusivity, etc. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, in the first half, we saw about the problems in Indian education, and in the second part, we saw about the steps taken to address this. With this, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our discussion. Look at this news article. After 11 years, the government has conducted All India Household Consumption Expenditure Survey. See, it was conducted between August 2022 to July 2023. Know that it is usually conducted by National Sample Survey Office (NSSO) of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Moreover, we should know that the data from this survey is crucial for understanding the essential economic factors like GDP, poverty rate, and consumer price index. Okay, this is the crux of the article. Now let us discuss about the findings of the survey. Before that, we should know about this survey now. See, the Household Consumption Expenditure Survey is a survey that collects information on how households consume goods and services. See, this survey also collects information on the household characteristics and demographic details. Okay, now let us see the imputation methods which are used by this survey. They are homegrown or home produced stock, secondly gifts, thirdly loans, fourthly free collections, fifthly goods received in the exchange of goods and services, sixth decline in the food expenditure share. Okay, this is the parameters on which the survey is conducted. Now let us see the findings of the 2022-23 HCES survey report. Firstly, the average monthly consumption spending per person in both rural and urban India have increased. Secondly, the average monthly per capita consumption expenditure in Indian households have also increased. Look at this data. The average MPCE or monthly per capita consumption expenditure in rural India have increased by 40.42%. Moreover, we should know that the difference in the average MPCE between rural and urban households has narrowed to 71.2% in 2020-23 compared to 83.9% in 2011-12. See what this suggests that the rural consumption spending has risen more than the urban consumption spending during the said 11 years. And moreover, we should know that the rural-urban difference in the average monthly per capita expenditure is highest in Meghalaya, which is 83%, followed by Chhattisgarh, 82% in 2022-23. Okay, now let us see the important changes seen in the spending of food. See, in the latest HCES survey, there is a notable decrease in the percentage of the total spending dedicated to food items among the Indians. For rural India, the share of food in the average monthly per capita expenditure dropped to 46.4% in 2020-23 from 52% in 2011-12. Whereas in urban India also experienced a decline, with the percentage falling from 48% to 39.2%. See, not only with the share of food in the average capital expenditure, but also there is a shift in the composition of food. See, the composition of food expenditure has also undergone a shift, moving from the basic calorie providers like food grains, sugars towards more animal and horticultural products. See, this shift is evident in the data from the NSSO, indicating a change in the dietary preferences among the Indians. Note that the cereals and pulses share within the overall food consumption expenditure has reduced in both rural and urban area. On the other hand, spending on milk has notably increased, surpassing the combined expenditure on cereals and pulses in 2022-23. We shall ask ourselves, what can be inferred from this trend? See, the shift in spending reflects a move towards foods which are rich in protein and micronutrients rather than the foods which are providing calories. It shows that there was a shift in nutritional focus. Moreover, it indicates that a conscious choice by consumers to focus on nutritionally superior food items. And summarizing our discussion, the latest HCES data suggests that not only a decrease in the overall share of food expenditure, but also a significant transformation in the types of food items which are consumed by Indians. Now, Indians are choosing to spend on the nutritionally dense options over the calorie-centric options. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw about the latest data from the HCES survey from our exam perspective. With this, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our discussion. Look at this Hindu article. Natasha Kaul, a professor from UK, was not allowed to enter India to talk at a conference in Bengaluru about democracy and constitution. She was invited by the Karnataka government but was eventually denied entry by the central government. This was done even though her documents of Overseas Citizens of India or OCI were in proper order. See, this is the crux of the article. In this context, let us understand about OCI or Overseas Citizenship of India from the prelims perspective. See, Overseas Citizenship of India or OCI is a form of permanent residency available to the people of Indian origin and their spouses. See, this will allow them a host of benefit in India. Know that this concept was introduced by the Indian government in 2005 and further it was refined with the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2015. See, the Amendment Act of 2015 merged the earlier Persons of Indian Origin card or PIO card with the OCI category. In doing so, it streamlined the process for the diaspora. Note that OCI cards are typically issued for a lifetime. However, there may be a need to renew the card in certain situations such as when the card holder obtained a new passport. See, this is the basics of the OCI card. Now, let us see the eligibility for attaining the OCI status. See, it is quite specific. It includes individuals who were either Indian citizens or eligible to become Indian citizens on or after January 26, 1950. This also extends to their citizens and grandchildren. However, a crucial exclusion applies to those with any personal or ancestral citizenship ties to Pakistan or Bangladesh, reflecting the geopolitical sensitivities. Okay, now let us see the benefits of OCI. See, the benefits of holding a OCI card are significant, underscoring India's intent to maintain a strong cordial relationship with the global diaspora. These benefits include a multi-purpose lifelong visit to India, exception from registering with the local police for any length of stay, and ability to work, live and study in India. Furthermore, OCI cardholders can own non-farm property and can have financial rights such as opening bank accounts, acquiring PAN cards. After 5 years, a OCI cardholder can even apply for Indian citizenship. However, the status comes with limitations. See, OCI cardholders cannot hold public office, purchase agricultural land or visit restricted areas without attaining any permission. This maintains a clear distinction between full citizenship and OCI status, preserving certain rights exclusively for Indian citizens. Okay, from constitutional perspective, Indian Constitution from Article 5 to 11 lays the foundation framework for citizenship but leaves the detailed stipulations and amendments to the Parliament. So, in pursuing this, the Parliament enacted Citizenship Act of 1955, which has seen several amendments over the year, including the significant one of 2015. See, all this act governs the specificities of who can acquire Indian citizenship under what conditions, reflecting the evolved policy to engage with the global Indian community. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw about the basics of OCI card and the benefits of attaining the OCI card. With this learned points, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this news article. This news article talks about two important schemes mentioned by our Prime Minister last week. Firstly, he announced a plan to establish the world's largest grain storage infrastructure in the cooperative sector. Then, he informed that nearly 8,000 FPOs are already functional under the formation and promotion of the 10,000 Farmer Producer Organization or FPO scheme. See, this will help the farmers to export their produces through the FPO. This is the crux of the article. In this context, let us learn a few facts about Primary Agricultural Credit Societies or PACS, and then we shall also discuss about FPOs or Farmer Producer Organization. Now getting to discussion. Firstly, let us see about PACS or Primary Agricultural Credit Societies. See, PACS forms the base in the three-tier cooperative credit structure. It is a village-level institution which directly deals with the rural people. Know that they work on the basis of the cooperative principles. That is, the customers of a cooperative bank are also its owners. Know that they provide short-term loans to the rural people to meet their financial requirements. Also remember that these banks works under the district credit cooperative banks. Apart from this, it encourages the saving among the agriculturalists and accepts deposit from them, giving loan to the needy borrowers, and they will also collect the repayments. On continuing our discussion, it serves as the last link between the ultimate borrowers, that is rural people on the one hand, and higher agencies like district central cooperatives, state cooperatives, RBI on the other hand. Know that a primary agricultural credit society may be started with the 10 or more people of a village. The membership fee is so nominal that even the poorest agriculturalist can become a member. Know that the members of the society have unlimited liability, which means that each member undertakes a full responsibility for the entire loss of the society in case of failures. The management of the society is under the control of the elected body. See, this is all about the PACS. Now let us move on to the second concept, that is Farmer Producer Organization or FPOs. See, a PO or producer organization is a legal entity formed by the primary producers like farmers, milk producers, fishermen, weavers, rural artisans, craftsmen, etc. A PO can be a producer company, a cooperative society, or any other legal firm which provides a sharing of profits or benefits amongst the members. Even institutions of primary producers can become a member of PO. Okay. Meanwhile, Farmer Producer Organization is one type of PO where the members are only farmers. See, Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium or SFAC is providing support for the promotion of FPOs. The role of FPO is to act as an aggregator for the member farmers from input stage to output stage. Thus, it will enhance the economy of scale and bargaining power of the member farmers. The payment for the product will be directly done to the FPO bank account. In turn, FPO will distribute it amongst the members. In case of unsold lots, logistics will be arranged by FPO. Imagine, in the absence of a FPO, it can limit the farmers' access to larger market, leading to the reduced market opportunity and lower returns on their agricultural produces. Know that they cannot negotiate fair prices for their produce and may be subjected to exploitation by the middleman. Let us see an example. Amul, also known as Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation or GCMMF, is a prime example of a farmer producer organization. It is owned and managed by millions of dairy farmers in Gujarat. Know that these farmers are organized into village level dairy cooperatives which are then federated under the umbrella of GCMMF. We all know that Amul provides dairy farmers with a platform to collectively market their milk and dairy products, negotiate fair prices and access modern technologies and receive various support services. Through this cooperative structure, farmers have been able to significantly improve their income and their livelihood. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw two economic institutions called Farmer Producer Organization and Primary Agricultural Credit Society. This is all regarding the discussion. With this, let us move on to the next part of our discussion, that is to discuss the preliminary practice questions. Today I am having 4 questions. I will solve 3 of them and 1 will be the quiz question for you to solve. Okay, let's see the first question. Consider the following statements regarding the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor or IMEC. See the first statement. IMEC is designed to connect India directly with Northern Europe through series of land maritime routes including the Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. See, this statement is correct because we have seen it elaborately in our discussion. Let us see the second statement. Key Indian ports such as Mundra, Kandla and JNPT are identified as the southern anchors of the IMEC. See, this is also correct because this also we have discussed in our discussion. So both of them are correct. So the correct option is option C. See the second question. Which of the following is or true regarding the antimicrobial resistance? See the second question. Consider the following statements regarding the antimicrobial resistance. See the first statement. AMR occurs when microorganisms develops the ability to defeat the drugs designed to kill them, making standard treatments ineffective. See, this statement is correct. See the second statement. The misuse or overuse of antimicrobials in humans, animals and agriculture are significant factors accelerating the development of AMR. See, this statement is also correct as we have seen in our discussion. See the third statement. AMR is solely a result of the natural selection and not influenced by human actions such as misuse of antibiotics. See, statement 3 is incorrect because though AMR is a natural process, it is significantly accelerated by the human actions such as misuse and overuse of antibiotics, contributing to the rapid spread and development. So statement 3 is incorrect. Here we have been asked to mark the incorrect statement. So statement 3 alone is incorrect. So the correct option is option A. See the third question. Consider the following statements about the Overseas Citizens of India, OCI. See the first statement. They are entitled to multi-purpose lifelong visa, allowing them to visit India as many times as they wish. See the first statement is correct. See the second one. They have the right to vote in Indian elections and can hold any public office in India. See, second statement is wrong because OCI cardholders do not have the right to vote nor they can hold public office. Know that these rights are only reserved for Indian citizens. So the second statement is incorrect. See the third statement. An individual is not eligible for OCI if their parents or grandparents have ever been citizens of Pakistan or Bangladesh. See, this statement is correct as we have seen in our discussion. So statement 2 alone is incorrect. So the correct option is option D. The quiz question of the day is listed here. Interested aspirants can give correct option in the comment section and I will also post it in the community section. You can go there and answer. The main question based on today's discussion is displayed here. Interested aspirants can write and get back to us. If you like today's video, like, comment and share it with your friends. For more updates regarding UPSC preparation, subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you.